Sometimes the littlest of things can make the biggest difference. And when it comes to your living space, of course, there's always things that need to be done. There's things that need to be fixed. There's things that need to be cleaned. And today I'm deciding to take care of one of those little things. Well, I think two of those little things that have been kind of irritating me. And no, I'm not talking about the screen on my fan. This screen annoys everybody when they see it. They always tell me, clean that screen, clean that screen. And you know, this screen, no joke, needs to be cleaned every 3 days. And I just really don't like taking the time to do that every 3 days. It's 3 or 4 gallons of water that I need to clean that. Some detergent, a brush, some space to do it. It's not something I'm going to do every 3 days. So if this screen bothers you, I'll let you know where I am parked, and you can come over and clean it for me. There, that takes care of that. Now, the thing that is bothering me is this little mess of wires here. So I moved some wires around a little while back, and then I just never got around to kind of fixing them. And today I'm not saying I'm going to actually fix them, but I'm just going to do a little something to clean them up a little bit. And it's really no secret that I just don't like working on my van. I don't like doing projects on the van. I would rather be out doing something else. Today, it's a beautiful day in San Diego here. I think it actually got to be 70 degrees eventually here today. And fantastic sunshine and great. So I would rather be out walking around, maybe doing a hike, something like that, rather than doing some project like this. But this is going to be a tiny, tiny little project. And I think I can knock out a couple little things. So with this, I've got some wiring that's kind of hanging down, and I kept catching it when I would slide back and forth. My van is a galley style van, you know, everything's kind of set up as a galley. And so in the morning I spend time shuffling back and forth along the bed here to get to my stove and then move over to get to my sink. And so in that shuffle back and forth, I tend to rub up against these wires, and so in an attempt to not kind of yank on them, I tried to cover them up with some duct tape. And as you can see, the duct tape is not holding. Now the duct tape is now falling and giving me even less headroom than I have already. I have just enough headroom to sit up straight, but when I get to this spot, of course I got to duck because my hair will get stuck in the tape. Tape's not sticky enough to stick to anything but my hair for some reason. So I need to get rid of the tape and do something else, and then I would like to get some lights moved around here. So I think I'm going to try to attempt to do that as simply and as quickly as possible, because remember, tiny little things make a big difference. So I'm not going to be knocking myself out. I'm doing some big, tedious chore. Leave the big tedious things to another time and just do a couple little things here. So the first order of business is I got to pull the tape off of here, which shouldn't be too hard since it's not sticking too much, and it certainly is not hard at all, is it? I was kind of hoping that the tape would just be a quick fix and keep these from dangling, because as you can see, as soon as I get the tape off of there, these wires are just dangling away, and there's no wonder that I kept catching my head on them. That was easy. Now it's gone. I'll leave a couple of these pieces on just for the moment, and then I have a big bag of electrical stuff here. I'm gonna try to wrap some of the wire up in this maybe split loom is what they call this. So this is just some round plastic, and it has a little split in it, so you can get the wire in it. Probably have to use a couple of pieces, but that should kind of help clean it up a little bit, at least the look of it. And then I've got a bunch of zip ties, so I'll probably use some zip ties, and that will be a little better longer term solution. And whenever I do a little project like this, I try to use my bag of goodies here. I've got a big bag of electrical stuff, and I try to use what I have, and then if I don't happen to have it, I'll set myself up like I'm here today in the parking lot of IKEA and Lowe's. So if I do run into a little issue or I need something else, I can always just run into Lowe's and grab something to help me finish this off. So this split loom that I'm using is old split loom that I was using before, and I'm just recycling it. I'd held on to it thinking I was going to use it here, and then, you know, just haven't gotten around to actually doing it until now. So I don't really have enough because this was kind of cut to fit in some other spots, but I just don't really want to buy any more. I'm just using up stuff that I have with this little project. I really don't want to spend any money on it. But if you're looking for some of this split loom, it's good stuff. I think I bought this at Harbor Freight originally, and it comes in several different sizes. I think Harbor Freight has a couple of different sizes that they sell. They don't sell a lot of variation of sizes there, but they sell some smaller split loom like this, and then they sell a larger size that, you know, I'd be able to fit all of this in if I wanted to go buy some larger stuff. Like I said, not really necessary for me. The nice thing about this stuff is it really helps protect your wiring. With this, I really just want to kind of make this look a little bit nicer, and I think looking at a little bit of black split loom versus red and black and yellow and everything else up here, I think it's going to look a little bit better. So that's all I'm looking for with this. It's just to make it a little more dressy. All right, there's the first bit done. It looks a whole lot better to me, so I think this part of the project is done. Well, we've reached the point in the project where we have to keep ourselves motivated. So I think I'm going to make a little quick coffee here because, you know, doing any kind of home improvement project is really all about keeping yourself happy and motivated and going forward. So I think the best thing to do is just to make a little bit of coffee. And I'm a little bit sad at the moment because this solar roast coffee from Colorado that I've been drinking for what seems like weeks now, for some reason this bag has lasted a very long time, but I have just about a teaspoon of beans left, and that makes me a little sad because this was some really good stuff. Well, I'll enjoy this cup anyway. That is some good coffee. Okay, so coffee's made. I can turn my attention back to this little part of the project, and this should be really actually pretty quick and easy to finish off. I have some of these LED strip lights. I bought these at a discount store, Marshall's or TJ Maxx, I forget, kind of the same store, but discount store. And not only were they at a discount store, they were on their clearance section. So I think this strip of light, which is 6.5 feet long, was about $6, and I thought that was kind of a good deal. I've just had regular lights, just regular bright white lights in here in my van for years until I got this set. And part of the reason I got this set was I noticed a couple that had a built-out Sprinter, and they had these strip lights all the way around the outside of their roof of their Sprinter, and they were using the red ones like this at night so that they could leave their doors open and not have bugs come flying in, which I thought was brilliant. I never thought of that myself, and so I kind of stole that idea from them and bought these cheap lights and have tried it out, and it works remarkably well. Probably everybody knows that trick. Bugs aren't attracted to red lights, but it's just something I never thought about. Now, I wasn't really sure where I wanted to put these lights, and so I didn't actually install them. I just kind of threw them up on the shelf here. And if you're familiar with this type of lighting, they have a little bit of adhesive on the back, and so you just peel off this cardboard layer on the back, and then you can stick them up wherever you need them to be. But I wasn't quite sure where I wanted them to be. But after using them for a while and realizing that I can use them as kind of bug lighting at night, I think I want to finally now just stick them up. Okay, 2-minute job. I told you I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I think this will work. We'll see if it stays stuck, but because it's kind of cheap. It's really cheap stuff, but it's gonna do the job I need it to do. And actually, I just closed the doors, and let me turn the lights off. Let me get a little better idea of what it's gonna look like. And I have to say, this color, this red color, drives me crazy. It's great at night to keep the bugs away, but it's not a color I like. I usually pick one of these kind of blue or green colors, and although that green is a little sickening to me, as is this yellow. You know, cheap lights, you get what you pay for, but I don't think they're bad. This is the one I kind of have been using mostly. Well, whenever I finish a little project, even a tiny little project like this one, I'm always reminded of the words of a great man who once said, "Never put off until tomorrow what you can do today, because you might like it, and then you can do it again tomorrow." But I'm glad I got this done, and that I don't have to do it again tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow I will actually do something that needs to be done a little bit more, like that screen. But probably not. Anyway, thanks for watching today. I really appreciate it.